Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a young boy, full of energy and a burning desire for one thing: success. In his youthful mind, winning was everything. Success was measured solely by being first. To him, recognition and applause were the ultimate goals. One day, the village organized a running competition. The boy, along with two peers, was set to compete. The entire village gathered, laughter and chatter filling the air. Among the crowd was a wise old man who had traveled a long distance to witness the race of the boy he had heard so much about. As the race began, the boy sprinted like an arrow, pouring all his strength into ensuring no one could surpass him. He crossed the finish line first, head held high in victory. The crowd erupted in cheers, celebrating him as a hero. Yet, amidst the jubilation, the old man stood still, his face calm, his eyes contemplative. The boy felt proud, believing he had proven his worth. But what he didn't yet understand was that victory doesn't always equate to success. A few minutes later, a second race was announced. Two new, agile boys stepped forward to challenge him. Buoyed by his earlier win, the boy eagerly accepted. The whistle blew. Once again, he surged ahead, his legs moving like the wind. Soon, he was the first to cross the finish line. Applause thundered, hands waved, eyes admired. Once more, all attention was on him. His pride swelled, feeling as if the world revolved around him. However, amidst the applause, the wise old man remained silent. He neither smiled nor clapped, offering no words of praise. He simply stood there, quiet, observant, as if waiting for something the boy had yet to grasp. The boy began to notice. This time, the joy of victory felt incomplete. The old man's gaze made him feel unsettled. Still, he believed that continued victories would eventually earn the old man's approval. "One more race," the boy exclaimed enthusiastically. The old man nodded, but this time he chose the boy's opponents. From the crowd, he invited a frail old woman and a blind man. The boy was taken aback. "This isn't a race," he protested. "It's not fair." The old man merely smiled and replied, "Run." The signal sounded. The boy ran alone, easily reaching the finish line while the other two remained at the starting line. He raised his arms, expecting the usual cheers, but the crowd was silent. No applause, no praise, no admiring glances. Confused, the boy wondered why no one celebrated his win. Then, the old man approached, ready to impart an unforgettable lesson. The boy looked around, bewildered. No clapping, no one calling his name. He turned to the old man, his voice hesitant. "Why? Isn't anyone happy for me?" The old man stepped closer, his eyes gentle yet profound. Placing a hand on the boy's shoulder, he spoke slowly. "One more race, young man. But this time, finish together, not alone." The boy fell silent. The simple statement pierced deep into his heart. He looked at the blind man waiting in darkness and the trembling old woman beside him. They couldn't run alone, but perhaps all they needed was a guiding hand. Without another word, he stepped forward. One hand grasped the old woman's wrinkled hand, the other rested gently on the blind man's shoulder. "Let's go, together." They began to move, slowly, step by step. No wind rushing past, no heart pounding from speed. Just three individuals quietly supporting each other across the finish line. And when they reached it together, the crowd erupted in applause. Cheers filled the sky. The old man smiled gently. The boy bowed his head, not with arrogance, not with self-importance, but with pride. A deep, unprecedented pride. "Sir, who are they clapping for?" The old man replied, "This time, they're not cheering for the winner, but for the one who showed compassion." The boy stood still, absorbing the old man's words. His heart skipped a beat, then trembled, not from exhaustion, but from emotion. In that moment, he realized, the crowd's applause today wasn't for the speed of his legs, but for the openness of his heart. The old man looked at him gently, his aged hand squeezing the boy's shoulder, imparting a silent strength. "In this life, you'll run many races. Sometimes you'll win, sometimes you'll lose. But in the end, no one will remember how fast you were. They'll remember who you ran with." The boy bowed his head, eyes glistening. He looked at the old woman and the blind man, both smiling warmly. No one came first, yet all had won. The old man continued, "Remember, life isn't measured by victories, but by how you live and who you help along the way. When you pause to hold the hand of someone weaker, to slow down for someone who needs you, that's when you've truly won the most important race." The crowd continued to applaud. But now, in the boy's heart, the applause was no longer the goal. It was merely the echo of something deeper: compassion. life is a race, but the most precious thing isn't finishing first, but finishing together.